Hey boys and girls, so over the last couple days I've been seeing the same video trending on my timeline. It's essentially, Taylor Morgan, she's in a Valorant game and she gets basically some rape threats from a dude, which we'll see right here.
You are literally just fucking all talk, bro.
Oh, be honest with me.
My ult's ready.
Do you know what rape feels like?
No, I don't actually.
Well, do you want to know?
Are you saying you're gonna rape me?
Because you're heading on the right path right now.
Are you saying you're gonna rape me?
You're going on the right path for it.
Is that what you're saying?
Toxins going up.
It's not rape if I like it. Is it now?
So, as you can see, that guy's clearly in the wrong, but the video is not really who's in the right or the wrong or about the video specifically. For me, I'm someone that's been raised by the internet, from the infancy of 4chan, the dark web, uncensored forums, all that kind of stuff. That's what I was raised on, which is probably why I'm so messed up. I kind of run on the opinion that these people are never going to change. So you have to realize that going in as a gamer, whether you're a guy or a girl. Obviously for women, it's usually worse. They get a lot more sexual harassment and just kind of preyed upon just by talking. Like guys often, unless you have like a really squeaky young voice or something, a girl says one word and four dudes instantly converge on her in positive and negative ways. It can go to their benefit, but oftentimes it goes more to the negative. So my main point of this video is to just kind of explain that like none of these people are actually serious. They're just trying to get a reaction out of you. They're preying on your emotions to try to make you upset. That's their whole goal. They're pieces of shit and they have terrible lives, and you just have to realize that like people with good lives are not coming on the internet to talk shit to girls on video games. Like no one has a 10 out of 10 girlfriend making $400K a year, driving a Lambo, like with a nice house and a maid and blah blah blah. Like, and then he's like, you know what I'm gonna do in my free time? I'm gonna log on Valorant and berate women. Like, it's just like not what people do like that. It's unsuccessful, enraged teenagers generally, and they usually grow out of it. So what are my suggestions for stuff like this? First off, decide what type of person you are. Are you someone that can handle a little bit of banter or not? Because if you're someone that can't handle it very well or at all, that's a valid reason. Maybe you had something happen in your past or something. You're just not equipped to deal with it. That's totally fine. In that case, I personally would recommend making multiple accounts, especially in the free games. You can have one account that you play with just with your friends. So then, that account you could play with, maybe a group of people, which is going to really help in terms of reducing the toxicity. Even if you just have a 3-stack or something, you're going to be able to have the upper hand in these games, and then you might only have to mute like one person instead of, the whole lobby kind of ganging up on you, and it's just going to make your life more enjoyable. Secondly, you could have a couple Smurf accounts, one that you only solo queue on, and on this account, maybe you just mute people automatically, or the first sign of anything, you just mute them, and just that's it. If they get too toxic, and maybe you don't want to mute them, and they're too toxic, just Alt F4. You don't care. That's one of your Smurfs. Maybe you have multiple. You just log on the next one. And I know it sucks. It's not fair, but realistically, if you live in a bad area in a neighborhood and past 1 a.m., there's a good chance to get mugged or knifed, robbed at night walking home. You probably are going to Uber or taxi, right? It's not about it being fair, because it's not. It's about trying to do the best things to make your life the most enjoyable. So if you just go into every game just expecting things to magically get fixed, it's not. You are going to have a very bad time. And even if, in the article, they were talking about potentially doing a hardware level bans. To be honest, the shittiest of the shittiest people will get by the hardware bans. It's not that difficult. It will help, though, for sure. It would help to have hardware bans. I'm not saying they're a bad idea, but I'm just saying, like, even with these precautions, even with AI kind of being able to detect voice chat words and be able to, suspend people based off these, people are going to find different ways to troll you. Like, say they're going to say, go back to make me a sandwich in the kitchen, gets, detected, and that gives you suspended. They're just going to find other ways of being like, hey, can you go down the street and make me a kebab? They're just going to change it. They're going to find different ways to get around the filters, and you're never going to truly get away from it, which sucks. But I'm just trying to say, like, you got to do, you just got to accept that fact and just, find ways around it, essentially, because even if a company theoretically did get rid of all toxicity for everyone, that doesn't mean that all companies are. So that means you're limited to like one game or two games from that company. Maybe a small indie company makes a game. They're not going to have access to that tech. Maybe Valve doesn't care. Maybe Blizzard doesn't care. Maybe Riot does care. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't mean it's just going to be globally implemented across all games. So you're always going to have that issue. Secondly, I would say, like, if you're someone that just loves winning, so you're someone that, you really want to win. You don't want to mute people every time you play. It's something that you're just like, yeah, I hate the toxicity. It really brings down my mood. It ruins my day. But like, I'm trying to get radiant, and I really want to do that. So if you're one of those people that you're hyper competitive, but you still hate the toxicity, just honestly, as much as it sucks, you kind of have to take the L when it comes to the convos. So like, what I mean by that is, if someone starts braiding you, you can't egg them on. If you egg them on, the game is ruined. What you have to do is just be a team player, drop them guns as much as it is going to hurt you internally. If they need a gun, drop them a gun, be a good team player, and just like make little comments. If they're like, yo, if you miss a kill and you're like, like, let's say you whiff a kill and they're just like, oh man, you suck so much, blah, 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 blah. And you're just like, yeah, I know, I need to DM a little bit more. I'm trying my best. Like little things like that. It's really hard to troll people that are apologizing all the time, So it's like, well, it definitely sucks. I've used this troll as a dude. I call it a troll because it's like, I call it like counter trolling, where you just like, you kill them with kindness type thing. And people do not know what to do about that. Like they call you fat, for example. He's like, yeah, I know, I need to get on a diet. Like, just take everything and just admit it to them, whether it's true or not. And like I said, not everyone can do it, but I found, even for myself, that it's fairly successful. So another thing you can do is just block and mute people every time they're toxic. Like, if someone instantly does something, block, muted, just instantly. They're done for the rest of the game. Maybe you unmute them at half, or you give them like 5 rounds and unmute them, instantly mute again, right? Because most of the time the entire lobby's not like trash. It's usually like 1 or 2 people, unless they're unfortunately all like stacked together. Another thing is when it comes to not caring about winning. Say you're someone that's just like, dude, I just play games for fun. I just want to have fun, and I get tired of being trolled. Learn to troll back. There's a lot of really good trolls. One of my favorite trolls is backseat gaming. So what you do is you go and you die as fast as you can. You don't try to die, but just go for like aggressive plays really quickly, and then spectate the one that's trolling you and backseat game everything. Tell him when his abilities are up. Tell him when he's an ult. Tell him what to do. Tell him when to go. Tell him when to back up. And when he misses, just be like, oh man, you should have been a little bit quicker. You almost had that. Just little backhanded comments. It triggers them so bad. So if you ever want to be like very efficient and not get banned by toxicity, just backseat game them, because these people already think they're better than you. So the fact that you're backseating them is going to make them so angry. But yeah, those are just like a couple of my terrible suggestions. I'm not saying I know the right answer here. All I'm saying is that you're not going to fix this problem anytime soon, and you either have to play the games and deal with it and find ways around it, or just not play games. Like there's no other way about it. Like it just sucks. Like, I don't know what to say. Maybe that makes me like a bad person or something. Like, people are like, oh, it's not right. It's like, I'm not condoning their actions. I'm not saying that they're good people. Like, obviously you shouldn't log on and get berated every single time you play a game. But at the end of the day, like, what are you going to do about it? Like, there's only so much you can do. So yeah, tell me if you just agree with anything I said, or if I'm just a complete moron. But that's kind of like my opinion on it. So yeah.